Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Week 6 edition of Birds vs. Boys as we look forward to Thursday night football. The Philadelphia Eagles heading to lovely MetLife Stadium to take on Jackson Dart, Cam Scattaboo, Brian Daboll, Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, and the Malik Neighborless New York Giants. And the Dallas Cowboys head to Carolina for their second straight road game against a putrid team. We've got lots to talk about in the NFL world. Cowboys coming off a win, Eagles coming off the first loss of the season. People are blaming the offense. People are blaming the refs. 3 big losses within a 3-day span in Philadelphia sports. The sky is falling. There are players-only meetings, but it's really only between 3 people. Media members are fighting each other. The fans are going nuts. Is Topper going to get fired? Should Sirianni be thrown to the wayside? But all is well because it's Giants week.
No.
It's a fix for everything.
No, see, that's a trap. That is a trap. I'm not falling for this trap. I've been falling for this trap since the schedule came out. I know exactly how this game is going to go, where everybody thinks it's just going to be this fixer-upper game. Get right and breeze through. No. We have to be careful as possible. We have to be so careful right now.
Are you talking about in terms of not getting injured on the MetLife turf?
We are talking physically not getting injured. We're talking about me not mentally getting injured by either two of these teams in this city right now. We have to think about it all. I think in terms of just this game with the Eagles, my fear is if you have issues for 5 weeks, you're not going to figure them out within 3 days on the road. And if you go in with the expectation that you're just going to blow a team out and that team sticks around for a little while, then you just end up frustrated, throwing your hands up in the air saying, oh, this should have been a blowout. Oh, it should be 31-0 right now against this team. And when it's 23-14 or whatever it may be, or it's 17-7 in the second half, you can't give up. And then that's when you could get really tripped up with a comeback loss.
Especially against a team young enough and dumb enough like the Giants with a rookie quarterback, rookie running back. I mean, they don't know any better.
They do no see, and it's a home game too. They don't know any better. Now you got to use that against them. They do some dumb stuff. They did turn the ball over 5 straight times against the Saints, so that does bode well for your offense. No joke. They did if you want to throw in the turnover and downs, they actually turned it over 6 straight times. One of those was Jackson Dart just fumbled. I'm not talking strip sack. I'm not saying he got hit. He quite literally was trying to run and it slipped out of his hand. You know, like when you bring in too many groceries and you're like, whoa. He did one of those. Lost the ball. So we got to capitalize. When you say they're kind of young and dumb and don't realize any better, that's where we got to capitalize. Make them make some mistakes. With the defense, overall, they allowed the comeback win last week, but I wasn't too upset because it's back-to-back weeks. They're getting stuck on the field for 70-plus plays. Going through 3 quarters, they'd only given up a field goal. That field goal came on the drive where there was really a fumble. So mainly, I think they've been really, really good. We just got to make sure that they don't have to be good for 3 hours on the field.
I think with, again, them being young and dumb, this needs to be a game where your big boys in the middle, and I'm talking about Jordan Davis, Zach Bond, and Carter, need to just punish the rookie quarterback and the rookie running back up the middle all game long. Just have Jackson Dart running for his life and have Cam Scattaboo look for contact one time with Jalen Carter and then immediately regret it and go in his hole and hide like the groundhog.
I don't know if Scatabo is capable of that. I've watched some clips of him talking. I think if you painted like in cartoons when they paint the imaginary highways and then the Roadrunner always makes it through and then the Coyote slams right into it. I think if you did that in real life to Cam Scatabo, he would actually do the same thing as the Coyote. he would run right into it. He is a box of bricks are upstairs. But you know what? As a running back, that's fine.
Yep.
I
So you're saying
agree.
he has pre-CTE?
Well, they're going to be like, oh, he's got CTE. No. This was not a football thing.
No, this was just life.
This was the cards he was dealt.
Yep.
We all get different
coming
cards.
out of the womb.
But you are right to the sense of like get pressure on Jackson Dart. Now, I think he's going to run a lot just because he's a young mobile quarterback. That's what they do. They panic a little quicker. They want to get out of the pocket a little quicker. And Darius Slayton's not playing. You mentioned it. Malik Neighbors is obviously not playing. RIP. We have to make sure, like with limited options to throw, that we're doing a good job of spying on Dart when he wants to not panic, but maybe panic in a little sense of just taking off, right? And he's like, I have my emergency break glass in case of emergency, and it's me running. We have the linebackers capable of doing that, right? Zach Bond, Jahad Campbell, I don't think you got a better duo in the league in terms of spying on a mobile quarterback and getting there. And also, if those guys need a breather, welcome back, Nakobe Dean.
Is he back this week?
He is back this week, announced today. We'll see how many snaps he gets, but I venture to guess you're going to see him on the field in early downs.
That's a nightmare scenario for Jackson Dart. It really is, because they have the ability to take away, like you said, his security blanket. And I feel like he's running better than I ever remember him running at Ole Miss.
He was a pretty good runner. He was. You know what he always did was he made the mistake sometimes. It's perfect. I feel like the reason they were 10-3 last year, we watched a lot of film on them because they had a few different guys that were making it to the league. Ole Miss had some football IQ issues. We'll leave it at that. But you know what? It doesn't matter. This is a good Giants, energetic Giants team. I think it's a good Giants defensive line. They play well enough to keep you in a game, which is, again, my fear is people just assume this is going to be 42-3, and when it's not, they freak out.
You just got to win the game. I will say, though, the vibes need to be brought up a little bit with the team, though, at the same time. I feel like I was telling, my wife's an Eagles fan, her mom, we were at their house last week and they were losing their mind at the loss. I'm like, listen, yes, you can be angry at some of the calls at the end. You can be angry that, you lost a game where you had a lead and it seemed like you were just, even though it was an ugly game, you were controlling it. But at the same time, sometimes a loss does better than a win in that situation because of like the Tampa game last year. And look what happened after it. Now, listen, they had the bye after that game and then they could settle things after that. But I feel like the Eagles have been getting away with not playing great all season, but getting away with it and winning. And maybe this is a little bit of a slap in the face. Like, okay, let's wake the F up here, fix some things up, get the vibes back to where we are. We are the Super Bowl champion. We are defending. Everybody's coming for us every single week this year. We need to lock in. And now we have the Giants.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic, right? Because I think in the Broncos game, I saw things from the passing game that I was really proud of for one of the first times all year. But you're kind of right, because they have not looked good. They have not looked creative on offense. They have lingering small issues that feel like very fixable for a team that's played together for a long time and have run an offense together for a long time. And at the same time, and like as good as these things were, and I didn't have as many complaints about the passing game. You mentioned the officiating. I might go on one last rant about how ridiculous that was. But this is where you say to yourself, all right, enough. Yep. Like, because now you lost, you showed good things, but you did lose in the end of the game. And it's like Jimmy Kempski wrote about how on the sideline, everybody is on the agreement. It's like clearly Jalen and AJ aren't friends anymore.
Yep.
Okay. But you're still coworkers. And he's like, for the record, we can see from the press box that they don't talk to each other during the game. And that's one of those where you're just like, enough. Like, I don't know what happened. I don't really give a fuck what happened. Listen, I lost everything this weekend. I didn't see a single win. The least you can do is somebody grab the feeling stick And we're going to sit in the room,
Okay.
Jalen, AJ, and Saquon, and we're going to pass around the feeling stick, and we're going to talk about our feelings. That's the least that we could do at this point, because I'm fed up with that type of stuff. Where it's like you don't have to be best friends.
Nope.
I'm not best friends with my coworkers, but guess what? I still talk to them if something's due. It's the same as a corporate America job. You have to be able to conglomerate with your coworkers. But at least it gets
They need
people
to circle back with each other.
They are circling back. We're following up. Best regards.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if we win, I think we have a pizza party.
That why not?
If we hit our sales goal of 250 pass yards, we're having a pizza party.
We're gonna give you 5 minutes of your day back. You can leave the meeting 5 minutes early.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, if you blow out the Giants, you get 5 minutes back in your day. You don't have to sit on the meeting anymore.
Maybe they got to bring the ice cream back.
That's a good point. We need the ice cream machine back.
Mm-hmm.
That had people locked in because they were ready to do their work. We got to incentivize the boys.
Yep.
Ice cream could be the key.
Dippin'
Dots. I went to game 2 of the Phillies NLDS.
How'd that go?
Nobody was safe from my wrath after this weekend, including, most importantly, the people who left the game and went straight to the Mr. Softy parked on the corner. Me and my friend went on a tirade about how you could stand in an ice cream line after seeing a loss like that. And I was like, who the fuck would be licking a SpongeBob popsicle at a time like this? We just lost in the 9th inning. And you're like, can I have one SpongeBob popsicle, please, Mr. Softy? Go home. Be miserable. Nobody was safe.
Needless do I say the name of the ice cream part? Softy? Maybe they're
Softy.
Bit soft. Huh? You go across the street to the bar to Hardee's. You get yourself a couple shots. That's where you go after that type of game.
Or literally.
That was
That like I said, nobody was safe. Not even people who just wanted a simple ice cream cone for the ride home. Everybody was on my warpath after a loss like that. It was the culmination of a disgusting sports weekend. Also, by the way, not to get too off track with these games, I lost everything. College football, lost. Baseball, lost. Eagles, lost for the first time in a year. Survivor pool, I had the Cardinals lost. But let's go through the weekend. All right, we come back out on Monday. No, Phillies
fantasy
lost.
team.
I lost every single thing you could imagine.
What'd your fantasy team do?
Lost both of them. First loss of the season in my one league.
That's I mean, there's only one way up from here. You're rock bottom. That's
true. If you think about the law of averages, by the time you hear this, both of our baseball team seasons could be over.
Yes.
But they could still be going.
Yes.
We could law and average this out where it was horrible this weekend. And then Thursday, Phillies play at 6, Eagles play at 8. We get back-to-back wins in the span of 2 hours. Now we're back. Kind of even it out right in the middle.
All right. One last thing about the Phillies, even though this is we always bring it back to football somehow. Your thoughts on game 1 and game 2 doing the fire show to bring out Duran losing both games?
Did not handle it well in game 2.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessary.
Game 1, I think it was a learning moment. It could have been a learning moment where it was not received well in game 1. And then to come out and then like a universal, like, we're not doing this, like that. You can't do it in a losing situation, especially they had just stranded runners on base. They ended up in the same situation game 2, strand runners on base. They're down 3-0 and they do the light show. It was not received well. And I think could have been a learning lesson there in game 2. It saves for top of the 9th purposes only when you're winning.
Speaking of a learning assignment, learning lesson that I was a bit confused about. I went to game 1 of the wild card round, Yankees Red Sox, and in the 8th inning, the Red Sox brought out former closer for the Yankees, Aroldis Chapman, out of the bullpen. the Yankees did a light show, and there was a song when he came out, and I was very confused.
For Chapman?
Yes, all the lights in the stadium were like going, how they do the thing, and we were like, I don't know what's happening, and then he proceeded to shut them down and win the game. I
That is
don't know if that
strange.
was like a dude who works there got confused, I don't know, pressed the wrong button.
They were like, let's get the crowd hyped up. And they're like, wait, oh man, muscle memory.
Unless they were trying to get in his head, because he usually crumbles in big spots, and like they were trying to get all the pressure on him. I don't know, but it was very confusing. Anyway,
backfired. That should be. Listen, I should just be the optics. That should be my job. It should just be optics captain for these teams. And be like, listen, guys, optically, no light show. We're down 3-0. We just stranded. The bases loaded. Let's not do a light show right now. That'll be
optically, Jerry Jones giving the middle finger to Jets fans was hilarious.
Optically, I like that a lot.
Then
I'd be like, listen, if they came to me and they're like, I'd say optically we have to pay the fine, but we're not apologizing for this.
No,
this is the first time we've seen life from our owner.
He was on the radio yesterday because he was breathing, and they asked him about it, and his explanation was unbelievable. Like saying that the stadium was just filled with Cowboys fans. There were no Jets fans there, which is true. But he said he was just like, he meant to do a thumbs up to Cowboys fans and they were celebrating, and he was just pointing out Cowboys fans. He's like, yeah, if you call that a mistake, I guess it's a mistake. But, it was meant like fun and humor, and I was giving a thumbs up, and everybody's like, what? Do we know the fingers on the hand, Jerry? So then somebody tweeted, and they're like, okay, this makes me feel a little bit better, because maybe when they brought him the Micah trade, he meant to give them the middle finger, but gave them the thumbs up because he was confused.
I'm pretty sure that was in a movie. Like when the aliens come down, it's in one of the scary movies. And they had aliens, and in their language, it was like the middle finger is like hello. It's the same as the thumbs up in ours. It did look like in the video he got his fingers a little bit confused. Like it literally, he went from like thumbs up, point, middle finger. He was doing sign language at one point.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
It was one of those. He was like, I'm just hitting everything. He did everything but guns a-blazing.
Yep.
He should have done finger pistols. Hilarious. That was the only thing. I'll quick finish with the Eagles because it's going to be the same thing that we've heard before. Kevin, trivia question for you. Trivia Wednesday. Who is the slowest team to snap the ball in the NFL in the past 4 years? Any team, all 32 teams, past 4 years, 2021 to 2025.
I'm going to go the Washington Redskins. Just kidding. I'm going the Philadelphia Eagles.
It would be the 2025 Philadelphia Eagles. They are the slowest to snap the ball in NFL in the past 4 years. So if we could please just get to the line and play with a little hurry up and a little pep in our step, I think this would solve a lot of issues and put a lot of more pressure on the defense.
Is there questions going to Sirianni or the OC about this? Are there answers of why?
They have such generic coach speak that you really don't get much. I know Mulata had brought it up that he wanted them to get to the line faster. I don't know what is causing it to be so slow, because really, like, they came out in the first half and they ran a little hurry up and it looked good. And it feels like every time they get to the line quickly, it works. And I don't really know how to get away from it. And that's kind of the thing, like sitting here doing the show, is like, well, what could they do differently? And it's like, well, I don't know why they're not. Like, I don't know why they don't get to the line faster. I don't know why the formation wise, they only run out of certain formations. They only pass out of certain formations. I don't know why they, like, every time a team's in man, they look great. And every time a team is in zone, they look awful. It's like, if I were them, I would just work specifically on zone schemes. What are our zone busters? Who's sitting in the middle? It's just I wish I had better answers for why they have the issues that they do, because it feels like these things that are easily solvable for the amount of talent that they have.
I understand that your OC was the passing game coordinator last year, but like could it be like his delivery of the plays to Hurts? It's taken too long to get in, and then he has to do. I don't. Is it a
The
communication issue?
the one thing it could be kind of a communication issue is like a catcher calling a game. Like if it's your first time in the majors as a catcher calling pitches, I think that's a really tough thing to do.
Like JT missing that miscommunication on the night and hit the ump right in the chest.
Yeah, that one hurt.
Whoa.
I'm sure the ump wish was the other way, where he thought it was fastball and threw knuckle curve. Instead, he thought it was knuckle curve and got 101 mile an hour fastball.
JT's face was like,
whoa, yeah. He was like, holy shit. Yeah, that was wild.
That was bad.
That was bad. Yeah, but I do think it's like you're a catcher trying to feel out the game. Like what would work right here? I do think there's a little bit of that for Patullo, where it's like trying to feel out the game, because there's certain times they stray away from things that are working. It doesn't look there's as much rhythm, but then other times, first half against the Bucks, first half against the Broncos, they look really crisp. A lot of the things are working. Protection held really well against the Broncos. But again, some similar issues, right, that we're talking about. Like they end up with receivers on the same side of the field, stuff like that. But I'm just not as mad at the passing game, because they had 100 yards wiped away in passing yards that had nothing to do with the passing game. The illegal shift penalty, I don't know still at this moment why that's an illegal shift. 4th and 3, you get single coverage of Devontae Smith up top, you take it, you convert. That's flawless execution, right? Like that. If that occurs and they win that game, I think we're feeling a lot more positive. Jahan Dotson, catch on the sideline, 1-on-1 deep shot. I'm still not sure why that's not a catch. There was an illegal man downfield penalty. They ran a successful bubble screen, and it was a legal man downfield. It looked like Tyler Steen was trying to block a lineman, kind of whiffed on him, and because he wasn't latched to his guy blocking, he was 2 yards down the line of scrimmage. He's on the opposite side of the play, not impacting the play. So it's like execution-wise, in all of those situations, the pass game was well executed. So if those go differently, you're not thinking, oh, this pass game is horrible. They just have no answers. Like, you're probably saying to yourself, wow, they just threw for 350 yards for the first time in a while.
Exactly. Glass half full, not glass half empty.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like, I can't. When I did the reaction show, I was like, I feel like people are going to want me to yell and scream about this offense. I mean, there's definitely things that you want to fix, but there were certain plays that didn't count for them, but it had nothing to do with their execution on the field. And I think people were upset. Ironically, they threw the ball 40 times and ran it 6 with Barkley. They were so good in the RPO, though, and I want them to keep doing that. We've talked about this on the show dating back to last year. If you pass it on early downs and it's 2nd and 4, it makes it so much harder on defenses. And think about that Giants pass rush that you're going to see this week, which is like their calling card. If you're in 2nd and 4s, then they can't just, rear their head and get to the quarterback quickly, because they have to still worry about Saquon. They have to worry about the RPO again. They have to worry about Hurts's legs for the teams being able to convert. So I actually thought that was a really strong part of the offense that I hope they keep doing. And then you try to work with Saquon. Now, harder, Dickerson's not going to play. We talked about that last week. I thought that they were going to rest him no matter what. He got the ankle injury anyway. I don't think you're going to see him for the next 2 weeks. This offensive line does not look right. And it seems like all of them say, or through their words or actions, it's the same thing. Dickerson has been injured 3 times now. Preseason, week 1, and now left with the ankle in week 5. Lane Johnson has left the game twice. Cam Jurgens had back surgery, and his quote might have been the most telling, where he was like, yeah, I don't feel 100% yet, but, early in the season, I'm feeling stronger and stronger, and hey, being out there at 60 is being better than, even if you're not 100, it's important to be out there at 60. And I'm like, why do I get the feeling that every offensive lineman is out there at 60? Like, why do I feel like they all are playing at 60%, which would explain literally every issue that they have?
Because they are. And I think it's across the league. The Cowboys are having similar issues right now, right? 80% of their starting offensive line was out against the Jets. And now even Tyler Smith, who's their all-pro guard, they're saying, he's got a like knee tendonitis issue, but he's also dealing with a hip and an ankle. So they're like, can we get him to play 3 weeks, take a week off and rest, play 3 weeks, get him a week off, and then do the bye? And it's like, Jesus, we're already talking about this, and we're 5 weeks into the season.
Yep. Same. Yeah. It's like, let's just get ourselves, through this week. So we'll see how effectively the Eagles are able to run the ball. But this is my last point Eagles wise, because it's kind of what you're saying with the offensive line. It's like just make your way through. Don't be upset with this team, this Eagles team, if they win by 9 and it's close. It's just not going to be a 40-point blowout. It doesn't matter what happened in week 5. It doesn't matter how they look thus far. No matter what was going to happen, playing on a short week on the road on the MetLife turf, the goal is always
a division rival.
Win and get out. Win and get out, and then take a mini bye, and let's regroup against the Vikings. Then we'll start to assess ourselves, right? So that's my overarching point this week is don't panic and freak out if this isn't a 4-touchdown win. Just win and get out healthy. That's it. That was always the goal as soon as you saw the schedule. Goal hasn't changed.
You know who did have a blowout win on the MetLife turf last week?
The Cowboys, baby.
Not fully what I expected, especially with the amount of, I think they had 4 starters on offense, like Dak, Steele, Javonte Williams, and Pickens, and Ferguson. So 5 of the 12 or 11 starting. It's insane. So good week, and now they're going from one electric atmosphere of a stadium in MetLife to another just absolutely electric on the road stadium in Bank of America in Charlotte. Back-to-back weeks, probably Cowboys home games. It's just like when I saw that schedule release, speaking of your schedule release, I was just like, if you have to go back-to-back weeks on the road, I'll take that all day, every day.
Yeah.
Like
if there's 2 places, nobody walks into Bank of America in October and lives to tell the tale.
I have to tell you too, the shoddy culture that's being changed. It's even like the little things. They were talking about how usually teams like on the road at the end, there's like a table full of like subs or hoagies there for the players and chips and Gatorades that they take on the bus. And dude, they had a cheesesteak place lined up in Philly when they left. Homemade, like made cheesesteaks as they walked out. In Chicago, they had Lou Malnati's there that was fresh made deep dish pizzas they were making the hand on. And this week they had Katz Delis making pastrami sandwiches right there. And the media guys on the who fly with them, they were interviewing them on 105.3 The Fan this week. They're like, so do you guys get like one of those when you guys are walking? He's like, no, we're not allowed. It's just for the players. We just have to walk by and look, which I'm like, that sucks. You're on the plane with them. But I would love that, to know like that dynamic too. There's just all these like, I don't want to say dorky beat writers, but like all these like beat writers and stuff on the plane with the team. And they're all just like sitting in their seats, and then all the players are either riled up partying on the way home after a win, or angry and probably still partying on the way home after a loss.
It's crazy that you say that, because I just watched a TikTok where the Chargers admin showed like how they book the flights for team travel and like how they set up the seating chart. And it's like, you're on bus 1, and then here's your seat on the flight, and we're departing at this time, and you get this bag. So it was actually kind of cool to see. I've eliminated most sports from my algorithm for this week. I was watching post-Soviet Union transportation, like railroad stuff. So I went as far away from football and baseball as I could, but I did catch that one. So it's funny you bring that up, of like the logistics of setting up those huge planes for the team.
It's pretty crazy. But the Cowboys back on the road this week in Carolina. Carolina coming off a huge win. They were down 17-0 to Miami. Came all the way back, and the way they did it was former Cowboys running back Rico Dowdle, right? Ran for 203 yards, I believe. Had a couple big runs after the game. They asked him about Dallas coming to town. He said they better buckle up. And then Schottenheimer in his press conference made reference to that this week. He's like, don't worry, Rico, we'll have our seatbelts ready to go. So also love that about Shotty. Like he coach speaks sometimes, but doesn't ever like nope, we're just didn't hear anything. Don't see the news. Don't shut up. Okay. You know what? Talk about it. Have some fun with it. But it's also his guy, right? He coached Rico here for a couple years, and they're looking forward to seeing him. But
And he's good.
He is good. He is good. But so is Javonte Williams. We'll say that.
He might be the bargain bin find of the offseason.
How about it? It's funny. Clayton Adams, who they got from Arizona, who was the offensive line coach there, is now the offensive coordinator in Dallas. And you saw the way he schemed up runs for Arizona. And now if you look at the analytics, Arizona is one of the worst run teams in the league, and Dallas is one of the best run teams. And it just shows you that Javonte Williams was the guy that Clayton Adams wanted. And he wanted a bowling ball type of a runner who's going to break 14 tackles, run violently. None of us saw his vision, or we just didn't believe that Javonte Williams could be that vision. But seeing the things that he's doing so far, I mean, complete bargain.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like that's who Javonte Williams was before he got injured a few years ago.
Yep.
So it's just, it's don't call it a comeback. So this is like the perfect guy for it. Quick question on the Cardinals' former run scheme guy. Did he scheme up for any Cardinals running backs to drop the ball at the goal line before they crossed the end zone? Was that part of the scheme?
I'm glad he was gone for that, because that's not part of the Dallas Cowboys run scheme. How does that keep happening?
How? I was talking about this with somebody this week. I feel like this happens so much.
Do you think you just want to do they want to time it so they look so cool? I don't just cross the fucking line.
You know what would solve this? We need to bring back legalizing dunking on the goalposts. Yes. Because if we do that, they'll run through the end zone, hold on to the ball, and then go for the dunk. So if they have the dunking opportunity, they won't do the fumble with the hands out thing at the goal line. So I think we need to bring back dunking to absolve ourselves of this fumble at the goal line issue.
Did you see your former coordinator, now head coach, go absolutely off on that dude on the sideline?
Yeah, speaking of culture, I'm going to
He apologized.
Although I had a very similar reaction. I was just 3,000 miles away. First time I think, by the way, fantasy-wise, might be the first time ever that a team has gotten points for an interception and given up a touchdown on the same play. How? We'll stick to the Cowboys. Real quick trivia question.
That actually, I would love to know this, actually. Oh, you go, and then I'll ask you because it's a similar kind of question.
Was it a Cardinals one? I had a Cowboys one.
No. It was I wonder if, because Joe Flacco beat the Packers already this year with the Browns and now is traded to the Bengals and is going to be playing the Packers this week. Has there ever been a quarterback that's beaten two teams in one season for two different teams?
Oh, that's a great trivia question. Oh, my goodness. I feel like it's more likely in baseball.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's an awesome trivia question.
I'm going to have to look it up. If only there was this place we could ask questions to. Find answers.
If only.
So back to the Cowboys. I think this Panthers team, they are who we thought they were. I think they are who we think they are. They're not very good.
They might be the textbook definition of yes, like not exclamation points, lowercase. They are indeed who we thought they were.
Yep. I mean, our guy Bryce Young, who started to play better, is not playing better again. He's looking like he's having a rough start to the season. They are one of the worst teams in the NFL in terms of deep ball rate. They don't throw it much, but when they do, it doesn't connect. You think it'd be going to in Tetro McMillan, Cowboys former first round love. It's not. It's going to like Hunter Renfrow or Leggett, and it's not connecting strongly. So the receivers, don't scare me in terms of the receivers that the Cowboys have seen already this year, right? In AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, a healthy Malik Neighbors. Garrett Wilson, the guys, the trio that the Bears have. I think this is going to be a more tamed down. Listen, Tet's waiting to break out, and needless to say, it'll probably be against the Cowboys because, hey, everybody can break out against the Cowboys defense in the pass game sometimes. But I think what's going to need to happen is it's going to have to come from the defensive line again. We saw a game from the edgewise and pressure in Justin Fields. And listen, Justin Fields probably breaks the pocket faster than any quarterback in the NFL. I think his pocket awareness is horrendous. He just bails. There were opportunities in that game for passes down the field that he just didn't wait to throw it to. But Bryce is kind of similar in that. So I think it needs to start up front in the middle again, right? Their offensive line nearly as good as the Jets' offensive line, and the Cowboys were able to get consistent pressure in that game. I think this needs to be a week. Aiden, they had Jay Toia, their defensive tackle, 7th-round pick from UCLA. He started the first couple weeks. He's a big dude, but kind of faster, twitchier. But the last couple weeks, Mozzie Smith's been back in, and JT's been inactive. I think this is the week you bring JT back because any kind of fasty, twitchy guys in the middle, I think Osa's going to have a big week against their interior offensive line is going to win big. And again, we said it again with the Giants and the Eagles. You get pressure up the middle, especially against a smaller quarterback. That's a recipe for disaster
for them. Oh yeah,
yes,
especially a Bryce Young, because you want him to have to throw it over top of you.
Yep. So I need pressure to come up the middle, and then we need guys like Ezaraku and Dante Fowler and James Houston, who's been one of the most efficient pass rushers in the NFL in the limited time that he's had, to kind of get after him on the edges. But what they're going to try and do to attack, I think, is ground and pound like they did against Miami. They're going to try and run the ball. Rico Dowdle is going to want, quote unquote, his revenge game, even though, I don't think it's much of revenge. The Cowboys gave him years and years, 5 years worth of keeping him there through injuries. And then, he had a breakout season. He got paid. So congratulations, Rico. This isn't revenge.
Not a revenge game, but it is a Wally Pip alert where Chuba Hubbard still injured. Rico Dowdle, who went for 200 last week, performs well again. Just happens to be against his former team. He does well in this game. Then you're like, well, wait a second. What do? We should probably make Dowdle the starter. So that would actually worry me a lot more than the revenge factor.
Exactly.
He's playing for a starting job.
Yep. So, I think the Cowboys' run defense has been still not great against for that fumble that he had. He had some gashing plays against them. So I think they're going to have to play sound. The issue with the long runs and the 200 yards that Rico had last week was the Dolphins just were missing tackle after tackle after tackle. That is something that has plagued the Cowboys as well a little bit this year, but that is something that they're going to have to clean up and make tackles.
I'll save you some energy. The problem, you could have ended that sentence was, the problem was the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Period.
That's it.
They're interesting.
Horrendous. Does Mike McDaniel make it through the season?
No.
Who's the first coach fired this year?
I think he overtook the Titans coach. Titans coach was not going well, and I don't know if they'd want to fire somebody fire someone who a month into the regime of a rookie quarterback.
Yep.
I feel like it'd be Mike McDaniel.
You think Dayball makes it through the season? I know it's not a very Giants thing to do in season, but
I think he makes it through the season. I don't think he makes it to next season.
Yeah, no.
But I don't want to say that and then come out and it's 17-17 in the fourth quarter of this Thursday night football game.
Saved his career.
Yeah. They're like, oh, they're building something. The Dart Dable era. I'm like, kill me now.
So that's kind of how you got to attack this, this Panthers. You have to get through the offensive line, get Bryce on the move, kind of, shut down a couple of those receivers and don't let Don't let Rico gash you. Hey, kind of sounds like just play good, sound defense. That's what it sounds like to me. And on the offensive side, highest scoring team, the Dallas Cowboys, and Dak Prescott, who is not the odds-on favorite for MVP right now, and I don't think he needs to be. I think he's sitting at 20-1 right now. He was 60-1 just a couple weeks ago.
Who's ahead of him aside from Josh Allen?
Josh is 1. Guess who's 2?
I really can't. Baker Mayfield?
Patrick Mahomes.
How?
They're just trying to hedge. They're just trying to hedge their bets and make sure that, God forbid, he has a huge comeback of the season and does win MVP. There's not people getting 45-1 odds on Patrick Mahomes.
I did have an intrusive thought that made me feel sad for the Colts, but I feel like I know where the plot of this movie is going, where the Colts have a great season. They've been playing awesome. And the Chiefs sneak in as like the 6 or 7 seed once they get their receivers back. Yep. And they beat the Colts in the first round of the playoffs.
That's going to be that CBS 3:00 game on Saturday.
Yep. Yeah. I can see that one coming. Makes you feel bad for the Colts. I think they're playing incredibly well.
Kind of like that. Remember that Andrew Luck game where he fumbled it at the goal line, picked it back up, and scored?
Yes. Wasn't that against the Chiefs?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. It was. Almost sort of like Trevor Lawrence the other night.
Against the Chiefs. The Chiefs got to hustle until he's fumbled at the goal line.
Dude, unbelievable. Excuse me. Need a cough button. So Cowboys offense, they just need to keep doing what they're doing, right? Run the ball violently. Still don't know what the offensive line is going to look like. I think they're going to try and get Tyler Smith another week. Talked earlier about his hip, his knee, his ankle. I think they're going to try and get him another week. Tyler Guyton should be good to go from the concussion. But then, you're still going to be out Booker. You're still going to be out BB. But we've seen TJ Bass can play. Hoffman can play. So Adeniji played really well last week for Tyler Smith. So they're going to try and hope for that. Maybe you get one of those guys back in Guyton this week. Run violently, try and control the clock, and then take the shots where you can. Ryan Flanoy, I think the last couple seasons I've been a big Ryan Flanoy guy. I was very upset when he didn't make the 53. Then he got cut, and they brought him back. Brought him back up finally to the active roster. He had over 150 yards this week, a couple big 40-yard catches. I think he is cementing himself in that number 3 spot once CD is back, right? Now, listen, Turpin wasn't there, and Turpin's going to be that gadget guy. I don't even think you need to put like a number on him. He's going to get his touches out of the backfield and the passing game. He's kind of just put him down as weapon. But I think in terms of receivers, when healthy, CD1, Pickens, 1A, 2, whatever you want to call him. And I think Flanoy has jumped Tolbert. He's bigger. He's faster. He's a 4.4 guy, 6'1". He is everything they kind of hoped Tolbert to be, but he is a draft pick as well. And I think he shot up the board. He's getting trust with the coaching staff now. And I think he needs to be on the field. Tolbert only got 1 target last week, and he did do his job in terms of gaining some double teams on some big plays. So I got to give him props there. But Flanoy has to be one of your guys. And this week, if Turpin's still out, CD's not going to be back. I think it needs to be Pickens 1, Flanoy 2.
One of the fantasy podcasts I listened to, they were down the Wikipedia hole for Flanoy, and they were very fascinated with him this week.
I love him. He only had 1 D1 offer, and that was Southeast Missouri State.
They found that out on the podcast.
How about that? They actually drafted him over Jerry Rice's son. Everyone's clamoring for Jerry Rice's kid out of USC. They needed a receiver, and they went with Flanoy. And I was like, who the heck's Ryan Flournoy? But he's working out pretty well. And I got to give one last props to George Pickens, man. He has been everything this team had hoped him to be on and off the field. He seems, if you see players like Wanye Thomas was tweeting it, like if there is a top 3 teammates on this team, George Pickens is easily in that top 3. Everybody loves him. He seems to be having fun. And George Pickens and Javonte Williams both have 5 touchdowns each. That is both their career highs in a season for each of them, 5 games into the season.
Truly hilarious how well that musical chairs of veterans worked out. Pickens, Metcalf, Aaron Rodgers, all of them.
Can't wait till the Cowboys have to negotiate that one with who is Pickens' agent.
The bad man.
That's gonna be fun. You know, it would be even funnier if they just like literally signed him like day one of free agency and it was no problem, easy negotiations.
Like we talked to his agent and we're like, wait, no back deal, no back office handshake deal for this one.
Nope.
You put pen to paper.
Interesting, funny
how that works.
So I think it just needs to be. They just need to keep stacking wins right now, right? And I think
you're telling me
back to back, quote unquote, easier weeks. Get another win. You can play up to the Commanders, maybe get a little bit healthy, win that game. Then you go on the road to Denver. Denver's an up and down team, right? You obviously just saw the good side for a half at least. If you try and win that game, right, that's where the season, I think, is going to hinge on. Does Jerry and Steven go out and get a piece for this defense? Do they try and go, quote unquote, in? Or you hold on to all 4 of those first-round picks and all the other picks and just ride out the season. So the next couple weeks are going to be big for this Cowboys team. That would you say they're sitting at 500 at 2-2-1? I don't know. What do you? I don't even know. If
you're asking me mathematically, I truly don't know.
I
think I've never actually. I think that's more 500 than 500. If you're 2-2 and a tie, that feels even more even.
Very true.
My brain.
I tweeted something about Jerry Jones or Jason Garrett being all excited because he realized the Cowboys have a chance to be 8-8-1 again this season.
They could be.
They could be. The clapper. Cool moment for him too. I don't know if you saw it. He calls the Notre Dame games for NBC, and it was Notre Dame, Boise State, and Cowboys had drafted a lot of Boise State guys over the time there, and there was I think 4 of the Boise State guys and Zach Martin from Notre Dame were all at the game together, and they went up and surprised him in the booth and took a picture. It was cool. He being removed from, the clapper days, I have enjoyed him a lot on TV and his analysis. Smart guy, talks really well. I think he's good for the game.
I think he knows ball.
Yeah, he does. I also think maybe he was handcuffed a little more than we thought by the front office, and maybe he wasn't as bad as the rap he got. But remember that too. Remember, speaking of like not talking to agents, do you remember how that whole thing ended where it was just like his contract was running out and they like didn't talk to him, and like people were like, he's just walking around the building just talking to people like, hey, what's up guys? And then like the reports came out that they were like at dinner with Mike McCarthy and he was like still in his office.
Yeah, they just he wasn't fired. He also wasn't rehired. So he was just like in job purgatory, and they just went around like looking for other coaches during that time.
He was like, what's his name in Office Space? Have you seen my stapler? They're like, we stopped paying him like 3 months ago. Oh, unbelievable. So big games this week for both teams. Wednesday night for you will determine how even truly bigger Thursday could be for you.
That by the time you listen to this, you will know what mood I will be in for Thursday. I will be mentally unhinged one way or another, but it's just the range in which we will find ourselves.
Yes. Amen. And Cowboys back on the road, like I said, in a absolutely raucous environment in Charlotte, North Carolina at, I think it's still Bank of America Stadium. So
it is.
Both teams need wins. Both teams need wins for different reasons to stay on pace. I'll tell you what, after that 10-0 start, the Commanders had complete control of the Chargers, but I think the Chargers are, a little bit of frauds now too. They've hit the MASH unit. So we'll see what the Commanders really have. But Aiden, it is always fun. We will see what happens. I will say a prayer for you this evening for your mentals. But
always fun.
Go Cam Scattaboo.
We're just going to paint a highway right next to the defensive line. He's going to run right into it. I've got him.
All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Make sure if you have not already, if it's your first time here, thank you and welcome. Smash that subscribe button here on the YouTube channel. If you like to listen to podcasts, we are anywhere your heart desires to listen to podcasts, Birds vs. Boys Pod. Make sure you check us on the socials, IG, TikTok, and Twitter as well at Birds vs. Boys Pod.
Especially TikTok.
Pod. I'm KMS. That's Aiden. Like I say every week, I'm going to end it like this every week, Aiden. We're now heading into the 6th week of the season. Enjoy the football. It goes so fast. We're already more than a quarter through the season. We're going to be sitting here in March, and we're going to be miserable unless one of us Super Bowl champs. Miserable because we just want football. So enjoy it. High school, college, football. Enjoy the football.
I'll have already talked myself back into the Phillies by then. Time will fly by the opposite way. I will be right back around.
Pull me back in. I seem to be frozen.
Chris Hansen here, and I'm going to need you all to take a seat right over there and check out Birds versus Boys.
I think you're completely right here, and I hate it.
Yep. Hey, idiots. Stop doing dumb things. I got 2 phones. Upset alert. I might go insane.
I think you're already there.
There's no hope. Hope is gone. If this was an AFC North podcast, we'd be done in 15 minutes.
Bob Hope.
I'm going to drink bleach. That is
Be the team you promised me you were going to be this year!
This is the Consciously Hopeful podcast.
I'll be watching.